Welcome back to the Racing Answer Podcast.
This is like almost rehearsed.
Groundhog Day?
I want to cuss. I want to like get my money's worth, you know.
What the monster energy are you doing here?
It shrunk my most favorite organ. Pancreas.
When we say something dumb, we just gotta swear and you'll cut it out.
Wow, it does sound slow.
Oh, Mr. Andy Petrie!
So is 5 average?
I thought 6 was average.
Welcome back to the Racing Addicts podcast. I am here hosting this week. I am your local Dads for Blaney chapter leader, and I came equipped this week with my toaster, just in case the week continues to go south. And I am joined by my good friend who you all are used to hearing by now, and I know you're excited to hear his voice, Kevin.
Hey, what's going on? Just throwing this out there. Since David isn't here, I'm just making myself comfortable.
You know, I have never seen somebody so good looking in that chair.
Oh.
Like, I think that's the...
I appreciate you. I think it's probably more the shirt than anything, but I still
That's
appreciate
definitely
you.
it. And there's some other die cast behind you too. I noticed we got rid of some of those 6s and
Good
got
change of scenery, I think.
Yeah, we got all the 12s going back there, so it's a good time. It's a good time.
Well, and we got to get this mojo going. We got to get something turned around, you know?
Dude. Oh my gosh. So I was listening to the podcast this week, all the different people. Obviously, we're very late recording this week, so I had a chance to literally listen to everybody. I've even listened to the Dale Jr. interview episode. Like, we are that far into the week. Like, even the last podcast has been listened to. And everybody's talking about Blaney being the favorite this weekend because they're going to Martinsville. And I'm just like, nope, you're not. I can't do a broken heart one more time.
I don't want to get suckered in again.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like I'm just going to leave this right here. Or next to my bathtub.
That's a great place for it.
That's what I'm thinking. And we're going to see how Sunday goes. If he gets wrecked in the second stage, might just hop in the bathtub with it.
That's fair. Do me a favor. If you go and get an extension cord and a second one, I'll jump into.
Perfect. All right. I love it. I wish Kenny still had a hot tub. We could all just get it done at once.
I know.
I do want to buy a hot tub for real. It's on the radar.
They're nice, but the only downside is they are a major expense.
Oh, they suck. They break all the time.
Well, and the electricity that they use, it's crazy.
There's that. Thankfully, we do not pay much in Duncannon. That is the one upside to living in Duncannon.
Fair.
Is, for whatever reason, our electric is cheap. I spend $1 million in fuel driving back and forth because we live in the middle of nowhere. But dang it, our electric is cheap.
That is a plus. That is definitely a plus.
Take
Small
the
town
W.
living, baby.
So this weekend we had Kyle Larson ruining the B wins. We had, the Byron, the Bell,
Not Blaney.
Not Blaney. He tried. He should have a couple of times. And this week it was ruined by Kyle Larson. Which was funny because we had 2 Bs up there. We had Bowman and Bubba.
That's right. I mean, I'll be honest. I was pulling for Bowman. I really was.
I was too. I really was.
He just laid it in there a little too hot. With 7 laps to go, and by that point, it was too little, too late.
And I think if he wouldn't have hit the wall, I think he had a chance.
I agree. I mean, because there were a couple cars that did try to catch up to him and pass him, but he just had too much of a head of steam running that high line, and he just got a little too greedy, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's, I am so sick of seeing the Alex Bowman hatred on social media. Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
They're like, well, he's the worst Hendrick driver. I'm like, well, he's like 8th in points. So he's not that bad.
And again, he may not be a showstopper. He may not be lighting the world on fire, but he is consistent. And he has been since day one, basically.
Yeah. Here's my hot take. I'm going to throw this down right out of the gate, not wasting any time. Because on the teardown, they were talking about ranking the Hendrick drivers.
Okay.
Because obviously it's a very good organization. So it's like, well, who is first and who's fourth? And I thought about this, and I want to get your take too. But I think Larson's number 1. Agreed. I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's no question.
He's probably number 1 in the Cup Series. So it's kind of hard not to make him number 1 at Hendrick.
Agreed.
Yeah. Byron's number 2.
Agreed.
I'm putting Bowman number 3 and Chase Elliott number 4.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I mean, Chase Elliott started out hot and, with that breakout at the road courses and everything like that. But, you know, ever since he had that snowboarding injury, he's lost a step, I think.
That's kind of what I thought. Like, he's just like, he is consistent, so I don't want to undermine it. And like, again, he's top 10 in points. Like, he's not bad.
Not doing bad by any means.
But I feel like Bowman gets so much hate that he doesn't deserve that I feel like I almost have to overcorrect a little bit and like support my boy, you know?
Well, and something else that I like about Bowman is he's not shy to get in dirt track, you know? He's not shy about running an open wheel car, sprint car, whatever. And I that gives me some extra cred, you know? I mean, I rip on Silver Spoon kids, and Chase Elliott is the epitome of a Silver Spoon kid. But I will say I liked his daddy. I like Bill Elliott, and I'm not going to lie. I like Chase, but is he my driver? No. But I definitely think that he's lost a step since his injury.
Yeah, I think Bowman's it. And I wanted to see him win. I wanted to see all of the Bowman haters have to shut up for a week.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he's had a really good season.
Well, and something else that I don't understand is Bowman's never come across as like super cocky or arrogant or anything like that. So again, I don't quite understand the hate on him other than, you know, he drove his way to a cup job,
exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And he's a real racer. Like at the Chili Bowl, we're watching on Flow, he's underneath the midget working on it.
Exactly.
Like that's what we should all like. Like Bowman's a racer's racer.
Yes.
That's why I like him so much. And
100%.
he's funny. Oh my gosh, he's so funny. He's so dry and sarcastic, and every time I see an interview with him, I'm like,
yeah,
he's like top 5 in my book. Blaney's my guy, but like Bowman's on the list.
No, I agree with you. You know, and I'm not saying that to say it. I mean, truly, I think Bowman gets a lot of unwarranted hate.
Yeah, I think he's got a dub coming this year. I think it's going to happen. So what would you rate the race on Sunday? How would you rate this Cup Series action?
So again, I really dig Homestead. You know, I like that they're running high, wide, and handsome. You know, the cars are a handful.
High, wide, and handsome. I like that. That's high, wide, and handsome. That's good.
I mean, that's a dirt track term there, baby.
It is.
But yeah, you know, and the thing is, the cars get loose, the downforce. I mean, it's a handful. And again, we saw slide jobs all day. You know, people driving it in hard on the bottom, sliding it up in front, and you know, trying to break that run up. So honestly, I'm thinking it was an 8.
I was going to land there or 7.5. I was a little torn, but yeah, I like the ballpark you're in.
Honestly,
yeah.
I think the one thing that would have made it better is something that we talked about here a couple weeks ago was stop letting these Cup drivers race in the lower series, because that's kind of jacking it up for these up and comers trying to figure things out and learn and get better.
No, that's a valid point. And I think this is a light concern I had, and I don't want to dwell on it because I don't want to be negative, but the more we go to tracks with the next gen car, the next race is never as good as the one before it.
Exactly.
And I just get nervous because I know like we had 2 really good Homestead races in 23 and 24. Like I thought both were phenomenal.
Agreed.
And this year was still good, but like you had more of the next gen crap, which was like can't pass, arrow blocking, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And
yeah, like just like slot cars. As soon as 2 cars get side by side, now that third car is making it 3 wide and just driving past them both.
And I'm just nervous because like we saw it last year with the Coke 600 where we had 2 really good Coke 600s, and then last year kind of sucked.
It was mid, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we had the stupid, you know, we're going to call the race 5 laps into the second half because it's moist or whatever the flip they came up with. I'm still bitter about that. We are not going back to Charlotte this year because I got that ticked off.
No kidding.
Dude, I have never been more livid leaving a racetrack than I was at Charlotte last
that's fair.
Yeah,
you know, fans never want to see a race cold because of rain. I mean, and it was kind of a crapshoot, but I'm surprised because usually Charlotte is one of the better races for the series. Yeah. So I'm surprised you don't want to go back.
No, we'll see how this year goes. I'll be less mad next year.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think I was mad because we committed like 5 days. Like we were there like all week, and it's like you're finally there for the main event and NASCAR calls it because they didn't want to run 30 minutes later into the night. And it's like, dude.
Well, and not
like,
only
we
that,
spent all our money to be here. Like, give me a break.
Wasn't the very next day like beautiful sunshine?
Dude, it was beautiful when they called it.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like, so when they called the race that night, the track was 85% dry.
Yeah,
clear skies, nothing in the forecast. Like the air felt amazing. Actually, it was the best it ever felt.
That probably would have made it even racier. Honestly,
That's what I'm saying.
Cooler temps, you know.
Anyway, I ADD trained, but all that to say, I am nervous that every time we go to a race with the next gen, I feel like it gets less good.
Yeah.
And I am worried, like, are we starting to get to a point with this car where, like, everything is going to start sucking? Because, I mean, even, like, now I will say, like, I saw someone complaining. They're like, oh, you really want Homestead as your championship race? I'm like, okay. A bad Homestead race on Sunday was still better than every Phoenix race I've seen for the last 20 years. So, like,
100%.
Yeah. So let's
Preach.
calm down on the Phoenix defense conversation. Like, we're not there.
Yeah, no, Phoenix is bad.
It's
the
a
only
dud.
good thing about Phoenix is how wide they get, all diving across the dog
Right.
leg there.
You
But other than that, it's a snoozer.
You get 1.5 good laps at Phoenix.
Exactly.
And then you just pray for another caution.
Exactly.
Unless
Legit.
your driver's leading, then you're like, they can't pass. Keep it green.
Yeah,
We're
I
good.
never
Yeah.
understood why they pulled the championship race out of Homestead. That just never made sense to me.
Well, it is later on the list, but we might as well hit it now. So there are strong rumors. I have seen this from multiple people that Homestead will be the championship race in 2026.
Oh, that would
So I
be
feel
amazing.
pretty confident. The thing that makes me nervous, according to Jordan Bianchi, who's usually right about everything, they were supposed to make an announcement this weekend.
Okay.
Like, they were going to tag, like, the 26 championship race on with the weekend while the whole series, everybody's there.
Oh, that would have been really cool.
And at the last minute, they called it off. So it makes me a baby hair nervous, but I'm hoping maybe it's just like a cross T's, dot I's.
Yeah, just
kind
trying
of
to make
thing.
all the ducks are in a row.
Yeah. I'm hoping, because it sounds like what they're going to do, and I'm 100% for it. I mean, I'm all for something a little bit different, but I'll take it, is having it at a different track every year.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
mean,
good.
so you can't necessarily come to the north, because
Unfortunately.
wintertime. But
right.
I mean, there's plenty of tracks out on the West Coast. There's plenty of tracks down south. I mean, you mean to tell me that we can't get a variety? I mean, talk about shaking things up.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. And it's like, so here are two avid Team Penske. Well, I'm a Ryan Blaney. You're a Team Penske fan. Like, we should love Phoenix being the last race, because if a Team Penske car makes it to the Final Four, they're winning the championship.
Yeah, it's pretty much a lock.
And even we're saying that Phoenix sucks as a championship race. So, like,
Exactly.
I feel like that adds so much extra to the conversation that we do not need to be going to Phoenix for the championship race.
Agreed.
Now, if it's once every 5 years, I'm great.
I can deal with it. Yeah.
Because then it's not like, oh, Phoenix again. Then it's like, oh, Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and again, a good variety is not a bad thing.
No, I still would love like a 2 or 3 race playoff run. My idea, I don't know if I shared it, my idea last year, take the playoff format you already have. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to change it much. But instead of 16 make it in, only 12 make it in.
Okay.
And then all of your rounds basically move forward. So the first round would be the round of 12 instead of the round of 16. Mm-hmm. The next round would be the round of 8 instead of the round of 12. Then the next round would be the round of 4. And then basically your last 4 races, which right now are the round of 8 and the championship race, the last 4 would just be the round of 4.
I mean,
going
I
for
kind
the
of like
championship.
it. I kind of like that idea.
I think, because I think 16's too many anyway for the playoffs. I feel like it's too big a number.
Well, and not to mention, anything can happen at any race. So, you
Right.
get cars that shouldn't even remotely be in the chase. The one-offers, Michael McDowell, that have no business being there. And yeah, no, I think that's great to trim some of the fat.
Well, especially like you look at Skip Flores is the reason Brad Keselowski does not have 2 championships. Like
Fair.
he messed up that pit stop in 2020, and that's what cost Brad K the championship. And it just, I don't know, it just sucks. Like, I get it that everything means a lot, but it's like literally one bad pit stop decided the
Screw you.
champion.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
and I just don't like it. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. It makes it exciting. Blah 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 blah. I don't like it. So anyway, sounds like we're moving to a rotation.
Well, and
which would be
something
good.
else is the whole win in your in thing. I like it and I don't like it at the same time.
I know. I'm honestly torn too.
Yeah.
I think I still like it, but I have apprehension.
But see, again, that's where you get like Austin Dillon. That's where you get Michael McDowell,
Right.
Austin Cindric, all the Austins really. Anyway,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
but, you get these drivers that, show up for one race and then all of a sudden now they're in a championship contention. I mean, that just doesn't sound right to me.
Well, it's like our champion last year finished 17th in points. Mm-hmm. Like, prime example, number one is in that 22 car. He had like 3 good races last year and won the championship.
Yeah, they just happen to be at the right time.
Right. And it's a valid conversation. So so let's say they did a rotation of 5 for the championship. What are your 5 tracks?
That's a good one. So definitely Miami, 100%.
For sure.
I gotta say Vegas, because the racing quality at Vegas is good. You see a lot of different faces show up at the front. I think that's a good track.
That's the rumor for 2027, by the way.
Oh, no kidding.
That is. Yep.
Awesome.
It sounds. I've heard it from multiple people, so it feels plausible.
That's excellent. Now, okay, if we're stuck with Phoenix, I'll put that in there.
Sure.
Another one that I think goes kind of underrated, Texas.
I was wondering if you were going to say that.
Yeah, I like Texas. I like the track. I like the shape of it. I mean, it's just, again, I like it. I like everything about it. Now,
Interesting.
I'm not talking about road courses or anything like that. I just mean, super speedway. But
Yeah. What about that's 4?
That's
what would your do you have a 5? Maybe you only have 4.
Let me give it a think.
I cheated because I thought of this earlier, so I already have my 5. So I apologize for throwing you on the spot. I should have texted you earlier.
You're good. So I'm going to stick with those solid 4 for now, and I might circle back.
Okay. So my 5 would be very similar to yours. Homestead, no brainer.
Yep.
Again, if it's on a rotation, I have no issue with Phoenix.
Okay. Great.
So I'm good with Phoenix being on the list. Vegas, again, it's a decent mile and a half.
Agreed. And mile and a half seemed to be the best track for this platform.
Agreed, 100%. And it's warm weather because obviously warm weather is important. Like you don't want it. Yeah, we can't go to Pocono or Dover. You know what I mean? Like those are all out of play.
Exactly.
So,
see, I was thinking about Charlotte, but Charlotte I think is too far north and might be affected because of the cold.
So it's funny you mention that because number 4 on my list is Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Great minds think alike.
I say chance it. I mean, more than likely your weather's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think at the worst it would be in the 60s.
That's fair.
And I feel like I can live with that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, if it would get any much colder than that, you have to worry about the tires having grip, which I'm all for.
Grippy, can't pass. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for lower downforce and high horsepower, so I like less grip, but I don't know if that would necessarily make a good product, especially on restarts and getting rolling.
And with this car, yeah. And then I think for my 5th, and really, it's really the only other track that's even an option for me is Darlington.
I like it.
I think it's got. I still do not love this car on Darlington. I feel like it's such an amazing track. We're still not where I think the Cup Series should be. Xfinity has a better race every time they go there.
Agreed.
But I still like it. Like I think I'm good with that. Those would be my 5 at least. And
I don't hate the idea of Darlington. I mean, I love that they brought that track back. I love that they have it as one of their throwback weekends. I unfortunately haven't had the opportunity to go there in person, but I'm hoping to correct that one day.
Yeah, we'll have to get back on that. I kind of got into my anti-Cup Series mode this year, and I need to break that. Although we did talk earlier, we might be breaking that in the fall. So we talked last week.
We did. And
okay.
I'm all for it. I thought that was a phenomenal weekend that we discussed.
Yep.
It was a good group of guys, and maybe next time we won't have to park on such a steep hill.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but that crap ain't happening again. We'll park further away. I don't care. We're not on a freaking hill.
If we would have literally went 50 yards further, it was completely flat.
1,000%.
It wasn't any farther of a walk.
1,000% my fault. Like 1,000% my fault. I were driving by it and I went, oh, it's not that bad. We can park there. And then I pulled in. I'm like, well, this sucks. And then like all weekend, like every time you move in the camper, the thing
feel
is like
shifting. Not to mention going up and down those steps. Like it was a giant first step. And
it was. I forgot about that. It was like, yeah. Which is not good when your friends are drinking like 4 cases of Busch Light.
I mean,
a bad
you guys were pretty
combination.
much out of alcohol by Saturday night.
Mitch and David were out of alcohol.
Oh, okay.
I'm not taking any ownership of that. That was exclusively 2 out of the 4 members of the party.
Plus those hot dogs. They just hit different.
We still, our sign, I forgot I took the sign down, but yeah, we had a lot of hot dogs. They were good. Oh my gosh. So if we did that weekend again, we would have the potential of seeing Blaney do it 3 times in a row. Which is
and
cool.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I like that. So that would be a win. Blaney, speaking of Ryan Blaney, had his third DNF in a row this weekend after a dominant race by him, led over 100 laps, second engine failure in 3 weeks. I think the 12 team is trying something.
I have to agree with you. I mean, it doesn't make sense that his motors keep blowing, but yet Cindric's and Logano's are fine. I mean, even Josh Berry's are fine. So
right. That's
something's
true.
got to be different. I mean, I don't know. I just hope they figure out whatever it is they're trying, because right now it ain't working.
It ain't. And what's worse is like he has had top 5 speed every single week except for Coda.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's like he's just all these crappy finishes, and it's like the dude should have 2 wins by now, or
Agreed.
at least one. Like he should have won on
At
Sunday,
least one,
I think.
yes.
Yeah. So so frustrating. So we got that. We did have the synchronized spin on pit road by Logano and Berry. Very nice dance.
That was pretty special right there. I think that's why Logano is the tax credit of the Penske team. I mean, Cindric is right there, but
yeah, I was gonna say Cindric might be wearing that badge a little stronger.
But Cindric, he consistently shows up at Daytona and Talladega. I mean,
That's what keeps him alive,
right?
Hey, props to Josh Berry, first Penske car to win this season.
Heck,
already
yeah.
topping half the team. Yep,
Love it.
and decently solid. Like
Yes.
he's been pretty consistent.
He's been consistent.
You know?
I love it. I'm glad that the Wood brothers finally have a decent driver behind the wheel since
God.
Blaney.
Thank God. I know he's literally the first good driver since Blaney was in the 21.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I'm probably gonna have to buy some Berry merch here
Now,
soon.
I will
think.
say, Busher, not Christopher Busher. He's in the truck series now. What's his name?
Matt DiBenedetto.
That's the one.
Yeah.
See, I was pulling for Matty D there whenever he was in the Wood Brothers. I think he was on
solid.
the verge of a win. He was close. He was close, but just never quite got it there. So I'm happy for Josh Berry. Again, another guy that earned his way up to the ranks.
Oh yeah, like how can and we talked about it 2 weeks ago, but you can't not love Josh Berry. Like
Agreed.
it's just So really good. Maybe we didn't talk about that because I forgot you were not here. That was the one that David and I did with like 20 minutes
Oh
notice.
yeah, that was Daddy Daycare episode. That's right.
That was funny. You know what's funny? I got texts about that one.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, people are listening and watching. That's
I
kind of
mean,
cool.
and you're teaching the kid right. Bringing him up a race fan.
I know.
Just saying.
That's it.
Although, I brought out the Wood Brothers 21 shirt. Now it was a Harrison Burton shirt, but I broke that out a week early, and
that
then
is
he won
true.
the very next
That
week.
is true. So I feel like maybe you might be.
Bringing the mojo.
That's right. Martinsville might be a good weekend. Apparently, my shirts mean nothing, but
Well, I mean,
he did win back to back,
champion,
so
yeah. Extra
Something's
$100,000 in his bank account.
not a bad couple weeks for Justin Allgaier.
That's right.
Dinger yet again a top 10 at Homestead. I mean, I think it's his 4th or 5th top 10 in a row at Homestead, which is hilarious. Props. He got something figured out.
I like
good.
pulling for him. He's
a good dude.
a guy that didn't quite have it figured out the first time around, and now he's getting a second life in his racing career, and he's making every bit of it, making the most of it.
And the biggest talent that the team has.
That's right.
Strong run by Bubba. Good to see. Like to see it.
Yep.
Did you see the clip that he tried to scare his crew in the last lap?
No, I missed that.
So coming out of turn 2, going down the back, he goes, I got a flat. And Freddie cues up, what? And then he sees him barrel into turn 3 wide open and goes, oh, you
That's
bleep.
amazing.
Yeah. And then they're all
that's
laughing.
The type of shenanigans I can support.
Now Bubba's in a much better place. I'm excited to see what he's doing. I feel like he's getting better at
Not being
everything.
such a D-bag.
Yeah, like I was gonna say something a little more elegant than that, but that.
Well,
and
I've never been known for my elegance.
That's true. And he's getting a lot better at doing what he needs to do and not letting the noise affect him.
Yeah,
because he's got a lot of noise. Like no one's gonna argue that the Bubba Wallace hate in the fandom is crazy. It's a bit much.
I mean, even as a Bubba hater myself, I mean, I liked him back in the day when he was in the Xfinity series and kind of proving people wrong and just showing up. And then when he got in there with Petty Enterprises, I wanted him to succeed. And then just because of his own antics and some of the stuff that happened, I really fell away from him, especially when he was intentionally hooking people and everything else and trying to start fights down on the infield and everything.
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Well, and you can see, not to rehash it, but Larson was trying to de-escalate and Bubba just wasn't having anything of it. Anyway. But I will say the last season and a half, I'm really starting to warm up to him again.
I think this is the season you become a Bubba fan again. I'm calling it.
Although I hate rooting for anything Denny Hamlin related.
That's fair. I understand where you're at. Do we hit the panic button yet for Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski?
Well, Ty Gibbs, that's a ship that's sinking right now. I mean, Silver Spoon Kid's just not showing up anymore. I mean, and they had speed this week. Yeah.
He was like top 5 in practice, top 10 in qualifying, and still by like lap 20, he was gone.
Yeah. And I think something else that's making a difference with him is, when he's not starting up front, he just kind of fades. He doesn't seem to know how to handle a car in traffic.
Yeah. There's I don't know. There's something that feels like that's missing there.
The thing that worries me about BK is they put that third car on and now all of a sudden he's not showing up. And that's a little concerning to me. Did they maybe spread themselves a little too thin?
It's a good thought. I mean, especially because Buescher finished, I think, 6th and Priest finished 9th or 10th.
Yeah, so and Priest was up there in the front for a lot of the race. I mean, he was running top 5 for a good portion. And I mean, Buescher's been consistent too.
And Brad was like 28th all day, 25th,
yeah,
not good.
No, and didn't he have an incident on pit road also? I'm pretty sure.
He may have. I don't know. It was all blur after the 12's engine blew.
I mean, that's fair. That's when
I was just seeing red. I'm just kidding. So I don't know. There was stuff though.
I'm not ready to abandon ship yet on BK, but Ty Gibbs, man, I think they are all hurting right now.
It feels like there's something bigger. Like this doesn't feel like slump to me. This feels like something is a massive disconnect, especially when like Bell's got 3 wins. Hamlin's been up front almost every week. Briscoe has speed. He came back from 3 laps down to finish top 15 last week. And then this week he finished 4th or 5th. So Joe Gibbs is there, and Ty still isn't.
So do you think that this is something in the same vein as maybe Blaney's engine crew? Like maybe they're trying something and experimenting?
It could be, but honestly, if you look at the second half of 2024, he's kind of doing what he did then too.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Like the first half of 2024, he was, I think, impressing everybody. And it's like, oh, there he is. Like, all right, Ty Gibbs is coming to the table. Everything's good. And then now it's like, starting like playoffs basically last year to now it's like, what the heck happened to Ty Gibbs? Like he sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that he lost something. I mean, I'm not saying slump either, but I definitely think that there's either a communication issue or maybe he's just not handling this next gen car as well as he did at the very beginning because to be fair, he was kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think at this point you're hitting the panic button if you're Ty Gibbs. I think there's, Brad. Give me another week. I need one more bad week from Brad before I hit the panic button. But Ty, I'm willing to hit now.
Agreed.
I'm good.
Agreed. 100%.
There it is. I hit it. That's my phone, but that's the panic button. So, Xfinity Series. Justin Allgaier. Bing, 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 bing. What up, buddy? Steals one from Kyle Larson.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, about time.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, he started, 3rd or 4th? He was definitely 2nd row.
Yeah.
And, between Larson spinning the tires and was it Sammy Smith or?
Sam Mayer.
Sam Mayer. I knew it was one of the Sams. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, but they're both idiots.
Getting in the back of them, keeping them light in the back end. Yeah, I mean, and Allgaier did have to drive around Austin Hill to get it done, too. I mean, that wasn't no easy task.
No. I was so impressed, man. I'm seeing like an extra 5% out of Allgaier this year since the championship.
Agreed.
I'm excited. I'm enjoying it as a fan.
Well, and something else that I think may also be giving him a little extra push is him starting in the Daytona 500. I feel like, he's having a lot more fun and kind of digging in, trying to be like, hey, I'm not too old. I can still do this. Because, before he won the championship last year, he had made a comment, I was thinking I only had a year or two left, but now after winning this championship, I'm feeling alive again.
That's true. Yeah. And I wonder too, like, he has had pressure for so long to win a championship.
True.
That he's probably been carrying that unintentionally for so long that now, like, that's gone.
A weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's done. He's got the trophy. It's locked. So now just go out and win a bunch of races and go win another championship.
Exactly.
So I feel like we're just seeing a different Justin, and he has had so many freaking wins stolen from over the last year.
That's true.
That I know he didn't deserve it Saturday, but I loved every second of it because I thought, all the Phoenix races where he blows a tire, runs over debris, gets pushed out of the way or whatever with 2 laps to go. Yeah, something stupid. I'm like, dang it, he deserved this. He deserved to steal one from someone else for once.
Agreed. And again, I love seeing him beat Austin Hill. Love watching him beat Kyle Larson. And I'm not trying to dog on Kyle Larson or anything, but to see someone in that series go and beat a Cup driver, that's always a nice treat.
Oh, it's awesome. And worth mentioning, Justin Allgaier was the only person to beat Kyle Larson this weekend.
That's fair.
So
that is fair.
Props to my boy. I'm a proud fan. I'm a proud fan of all of my drivers. That Blaney's been should have won up front every week. Allgaier's won twice now. And then we'll get to it in the trucks. But Lane Riggs is doing phenomenal. So I'm a very proud fan right now.
Yeah, he's definitely showing up. I mean, I wish that him and Larson wouldn't have got together in the truck race because I think that's what kind of killed his momentum. But otherwise, he was there.
He was there. I mean, the fact that the race came down to Kyle Larson, Corey Hyman, Lane Riggs says a lot about where Lane Riggs is at.
Agreed.
I mean, those are big names to be running against, especially at Homestead.
Yes.
So that was cool. I'm so excited, and I can't stand Chandler Smith. I have said this so many times. He is one of my biggest pet peeve drivers in all of the series of racing.
I'm not surprised, but I am surprised.
Oh, I go absolutely bananas about people that constantly bring Jesus to the platform.
That's fair.
And then act like
just
complete
like Ty Gibbs
douche
did?
canoes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So and that's why Ty Gibbs forever drove me bananas, because he'd be like, I want to give God the glory after he right hooks someone to win the race.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God ain't getting any glory out of this, homie. Like, this is your dumb self. Like, there's no one else involved in this transaction but you. And Chandler Smith's the same way, because he'll MF a guy, he'll run someone in the wall, he'll tell his crew to kiss his whatever, and then gets out of the car and goes, I just want to give the glory to God. And God's like, the heck? Did you just hear your radio?
That's not the right attitude to have, or right things to be saying and doing if that's where you're leading it, what I mean?
Exactly. So I've been very much not a Chandler Smith fan for years. And so now seeing him and Lane in the exact same equipment, and Lane is kicking his butt week in and week out, I'm a huge fan. Go Lane Riggs. Proud of you. Go get the W.
Yep. Love it. Love everything about it. Love everything about it.
So Kyle Larson came back Friday night to win. Honestly, I thought the truck race was incredible. I don't know if you got to see the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
They ran a long green flag run to finish the race. I'm like, when was the last time that happened in the truck series?
Right. Something else that I really liked about it is it was a night race at Homestead. I think that added a whole nother level to that race.
I think so. I think Homestead does better at night, to be honest.
Agreed.
I think most tracks get worse when they grip up. Homestead gets better.
Yes.
There's something that shifts in that track that is for the better.
Agreed.
So
yeah,
when they do the championship weekend there, all night races. Please do us a favor.
That would be amazing.
Bring us back, man.
Yes.
Makes my heart feel better. But no, it was a great race. Kyle Larson came back from spinning mid-race to win. Very impressive. He was 12 seconds back.
Oh, yeah.
And
didn't he cut down almost three seconds, in a course of 2 laps, which is unheard of.
Very short. Yeah, because I remember Lane got around Heim when Heim's truck shut off. Mm-hmm. And it was 3 laps to go. And I thought, oh, he's got it. The 34, he drives to 34 now. Sorry.
One of those trucks.
Whatever truck number he drives.
They're teammates, so
who cares? But I thought I'd oh, Lane's got this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Lane's going to win in this pretty big race. This is really exciting. And then Larson just boom, gone.
Well, and I think what Lane may have done was burn up a little bit of his tires too much when he was fighting with Heim.
Yeah. And let's give credit where it's due. Kyle Larson at Homestead is one of the hardest things to beat.
He is.
Like, he's just freaking good.
Well, and again, rim riding around the high side, that is Larson's MO. I mean, you can watch it. I mean, that's what actually ended up costing him one of the races here recently when he was in his sprint car. He got up on the high side, drove up on the wall, and then they said he was in the wheelchair position looking up at the sky.
Heck, he did it in the Chili Bowl too and still won somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
That was wild. Chastain caused an accident in turn 1, lap 1.
This is my surprised face. Take a look.
Yeah, death taxes and Ross Chastain doing something stupid early in a race. It just
pretty much guaranteed.
It just fits.
Yep.
And the drivers only broadcast I thought was really good.
Agreed.
I loved, and I don't know if you caught this, but Carson Hocevar, I never say his name right. Carson Hocevar was interviewing Ross Chastain, and Ross said, "I'm glad to see you have a microphone and not a steering wheel in your hand tonight."
Yeah, it was good. That was real good.
That was 10 out of 10. Like, that honestly almost turned me into a Ross Chastain fan. I was very impressed.
I don't hate on Ross Chastain. I just think he does a lot of bonehead things.
He does. And it's like, he is a talented driver.
Yes.
And I just wish he would race with a little more intelligence sometimes.
Agreed.
Like, lap 1, turn 1 in a truck race, probably don't need to go 5 wide.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, he's done some amazing things behind the wheel, but yeah, the bonehead maneuvers that he does and puts himself in bad situations just because he makes bonehead moves is a little disappointing, because I think he could be a championship contender if he would just get a little more consistent.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's one of those ones that I think is like checkers or wreckers.
He still kind of has that. He goes in and out of that mode. So, yeah, I just don't need to. News rumors, Richard Childress drove into the side of a 2311 car leaving the track on Sunday. That was brilliant. That was interesting. Denny Hamlin shared that a little bit on his podcast. We are going to have a brief What Grinds My Gears segment. So if you have anything you'd like to rant about, I can kick us off.
Yeah,
if you got anything. I have honestly been trying to get into IndyCar.
Okay.
Because I love the personalities, like Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden. They're Penske boys.
I root for the Penske cars.
Exactly.
I watch it.
And I'm not a Will Powers fan. There's always one Penske driver I don't like, but it just doesn't fail. But they are such cool personalities. And obviously Joseph Newgarden, 2 Indy 500s back to back. So like I've been trying to follow that series more to like get into it. They keep going head to head against NASCAR.
Yeah.
And even now they're on the same freaking network.
Yeah, it kills me.
Like, what are we doing? And then there was somebody posted a statement this week from a Fox executive that said it was intentional because they feel it will grow the sport. And I'm like,
no, that's not how that works.
Exactly. Because now, like,
fans have to pick one or the other.
Right.
Like,
and like for me, I almost feel especially like when Blaney was leading the race, I was like, well, I can't turn on IndyCar. Like, I got to watch my boy.
I didn't watch the IndyCar race because I was busy watching the Cup race.
Exactly. And like, but if they would have been at different times, I would have loved to have. And I wish there was. I get that they're different businesses, but like, I feel like everybody wins if motorsports as a whole was healthy.
Agreed.
Like, I've had that take on the whole World of Outlaws high limit thing. Mm-hmm. I think it has helped everybody. And I think we're seeing it because the sprint car world, I think, is in one of the best places it's been in a while.
100%. And something else just to kind of launch off that same point is the IMSA WeatherTech series. I watch that whenever it's on, and because it doesn't compete against NASCAR.
Right, which is really smart. I do not, because I don't like IMSA, but it's a valid point.
Yeah.
So, like, I just wish... Why not make Homestead a night race on Sunday?
I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
The
Hands
track's
down.
got lights.
Sign me up.
Yes.
Where's my card? Let me get out.
Get it going right now.
Yes.
And then we could have had like an IndyCar afternoon.
Yes.
With a Homestead night race. Everybody, and then like you could have got people on both sides because it's on the same freaking network.
Exactly. Lead one right into the other.
Right.
That is brilliant. Talk about crossover at its finest.
You're welcome, Fox. I just fixed your network for you.
Yeah.
There's step one. Step two, hire a new production truck.
Right.
Maybe flip those. No, fix the schedule, then hire a new production truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the order I'm going with.
Okay. So my grinding gears or hot take or however you want to call it. I love the Xfinity series. I feel like the Xfinity series has been the premier series since they went to the next gen car. Mm-hmm. I hate what CW is doing with the graphics during the race. The way that they
I'm surprised because I actually like it.
I hate it's at the bottom. It's hard to follow because there's like 4 cars and then the next. No, do it on the side just like they've done forever and a day. Leave it alone.
Man, I'm actually surprised because that's like one of the biggest things I like. But, hey, to each their own,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Hey, all that matters for me is I just need to see the top 5 because the 7's usually there.
That's fair.
And please no more remote broadcasts. We like announcers that are at the track.
Yes.
It is a better experience. You can tell me as much as you want that it doesn't matter and we have more data, blah, blah, blah. I want announcers at the track.
Agreed.
All day.
Especially because getting that reaction in real time is so critical to immersing the fans in what's going on.
Well, and the big thing is if your production team doesn't catch an incident, nobody knows.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, Fox's production team, because that's who's doing production for CW, is not necessarily the greatest production crew in the world. They're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah.
So having announcers at the track that can go, oh, turn 3 is good because then that lets the production team put down their joint for 5 seconds, relocate one of the cameras over to turn 3 and go, oh, Kyle Sieg's in the wall or whatever, so
well, and again,
just be at the track.
Again, the camera guys are good. They're doing a phenomenal job. But again, if you have somebody reacting to it in the moment, if a camera guy's watching this car and they hear something's going on, oh, right there it is. And we're catching at least half of the incident.
Right. Oh, 1,000%. So just, I'll piggyback on your CW rant with be at the track, please.
Yes.
Everybody wins, and it's a couple plane tickets. Like, let's be honest. We're not talking about, like, millions of dollars to have announcers at the track.
Exactly.
Like, maybe 1 or 2 more tech people and 3 announcers. Just write the check.
I mean, they already have the booth space. I mean,
Well, exactly. And you already have your pit road team because they still have to be there.
Exactly.
Literally, the only people that aren't there are the 3 main announcers.
Exactly.
So it's 3 plane tickets, which I'm sure it's all massive rented out jet anyway. And, 1 or 2 tech people. So freaking just do it. Just get them at the track. Thank you. That's, we're looking ahead. We got Martinsville this weekend.
We do.
What are our expectations level? Are we
I'm expecting the truck race and the Xfinity race to be worth watching and the Cup Series to be basically a 4-hour snooze fest and watch the last 20 laps.
See, I'm cautiously optimistic because
lay it on me.
I thought the fall race was the best next gen short track race we've had.
Agreed.
Now again, low bar. Like I thought it would have been an average Gen 6 race. Mm-hmm. Like it was decent but not great, but on the Gen 7 scale, I thought last fall was phenomenal.
I think the big difference is the temperatures and the weather though.
And that's where I'm curious to see because there's a chance that it might be really warm this weekend. So I'm like, give me a little 80 degree love and maybe like we can pass.
Yeah. So the only downside is that 80 degrees is on Saturday. So that'll be good for the Xfinity series,
which is already good.
Exactly. The last weather report I saw Sunday was rain and it's supposed to start to chill back off. So.
Oh, praise the Lord. So it's going to suck. All right, there we are. All right, locked in. Yeah. Hey, the 12 wins, all's good.
That's right. That's right. It'll be our new favorite track for this week.
Exactly. So cautiously optimistic. Looking ahead, David this weekend actually won our picks. So congratulations.
Yes. Golf clap.
Golf clap. So that brings the current score total. I have 3 wins. Kevin has 1 win and David has 1 win. So I think it's off to a great start. I think we just need to keep rolling with me being 2 ahead of all of you.
That's great.
Or triple the score of you. However we want to do this. You know,
I mean, I feel like Mitch and I should share. So I feel, just throwing that out there.
Oh man! All right, this is up for a debate because you have like pseudo replaced Mitch. So
I mean,
maybe you inherit his win.
I feel like that's the only fair thing to do.
It might be. Although Mitch might be back later in the season, so I feel like we might. Yeah.
Well, team effort, Mitch and I,
Okay, maybe that's how we view it. Okay, this is like a Kevin/Mitch pick.
Yeah,
and then
I
me and
like
David
that.
are on our own.
I feel like that's fair because you and David are here consistently. I mean,
This
yes,
is
I
true.
am stepping in for Mitch.
You got dumped with
currently.
Logano last week,
Yeah,
and it almost
that's
worked.
right? I felt good until I didn't.
Yeah, it was almost good. So yeah, I feel like there could be something there, and I don't care because it means I'm still winning. So all is well. But David won last week with Tyler Reddick, and honestly, we were close because Reddick was, I think, 5th or 6th. I had Byron, who was, I believe, 11th, and I think Logano was 13th.
Yes.
So for our picks, that's a pretty solid weekend. That's as good as it gets.
That is, yeah.
Because normally somebody's 28th and wrecked.
That's also very true. Yeah.
So apologies in advance to whoever we picked this week and completely curse. But we are looking ahead to Martinsville. Our first pick actually would be you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think since my pick kind of got stolen from me last week, I'm going to pick him this week. I think I'm going with Billiam Wyron.
Ooh. That's a solid pick. That's a solid pick here. He's got some numbers.
He does.
And it's the spring, so he's still good.
Exactly.
Yeah, the 24 team has not started sucking
Well,
yet,
and I
so
don't
that's
want to
good.
necessarily burn my Larson pick just yet.
I
I want to save that for a little later in the season.
You know what's funny is I was this close to taking Larson last week, and I was like, oh, I can't take Larson this early. I would have won.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I should have burned it. I mean, a win's a win, right?
That's true.
You get
That's
the dub.
true.
No, William Byron's a good pick. This might be blasphemy, and I'm just going to apologize in advance.
Oh, boy.
We can't take our favorites. We
I
already
know.
had that
I'm
rule.
well aware.
So obviously that takes Blaney off the table for me, which probably it might have been my pick. So I'm going to actually take Dennis, 9 Knuckle Shuffle,
Wow.
2311, suing NASCAR, Hamlin.
Okay.
So he's got some speed at Darlington. He's got a little bit of momentum going.
Well, and he is consistently at the front at the small tracks.
He is small. Tracks.
Exactly.
Hey. So we're going to go with the 11. And David is actually, what's funny, David texted right before we were supposed to start because David was going to join us. And at the last minute, his kid got sick. And obviously, parenting, that's a priority.
Of course.
So he said he couldn't make it. And he's like, but I picked Denny Hamlin. And I said, well, I'm picking before you, and that's who I'm picking. So you're going to have to pick someone else.
I love it. Love everything about it.
So David went with Joseph Logano.
Oh.
That's a bold take for me.
That's interesting.
I have a feeling David's going to be picking first next week.
I mean, that is not a bad pick. That is not a bad pick.
Maybe he's just locking in his early pick next week.
Right?
So we got the 24, the 11, and the 22 going into Martinsville. Man, I hope it just please be a good race. I'm like,
Yeah,
Man.
I feel that.
Yeah, I just want it to be good. Just make it good. And let the 12 get to victory lane.
And not blow motor.
Let his motor make it to the end. Let nobody wreck him. Let his pit crew not cause him, to go 2 laps down. Like all of these are just my wish list. This is just what I expect.
I mean, if he does win, does that mean Christmas came early?
It might have been. Hey, I think next week becomes celebratory if he wins.
Right? I like it. I like it.
Which I'm really busy next week, but we will carve out time.
Well, I was going to say, if he does win, I might have to wear the Blaney shirt again just because it got the mojo going.
I was going to say, just wear it every week on the podcast.
Right?
And I'll wear this outfit. Whatever this outfit does, I'll just keep wearing it, So that's what we're hoping for. Optimistic, make it a good race. Please, please, please. I did see, you'll appreciate this because you're also a fan, but Dirty Mo Media did like a little poll on Twitter, and it was like, what's the worst way for your driver to lose a race? And I forget what the 4 options were, but literally Blaney has lost a race every way on that list in the past year. And I was like, this hurts. This hurts my soul.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think they were attacking him, do you? I mean,
Maybe. It felt a little bit like, but I think I tweeted back all of the above, because, that's where we're at. So any final thoughts for you? I think that does complete our list at least, but anything else on your mind before we wrap it up here?
nothing constructive. I mean, there's lots of things, but it's more like squirrel.
That's most of our podcast episodes.
That's also fair.
We got kind of a consistent thing going here. So,
No, I think I'm good, buddy. I think we covered all the hot topics, all the things. I hope that is true about Childress. I mean, I think that's amazing if he's driving into the side of a 2311 car.
He's wild, bro.
Right?
I don't think Childress is 100% there.
I mean, he is also ancient at this point.
He is. And his last successful driver died in 2001. Wait. I take it back. Kevin Harvick drove his car for a lot of years.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He did. And he got a win right after the incident. So.
Yeah, he did. All right. I take that back. After Kevin Harvick left.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. We are Kevin Harvick fans here, so I don't want to deny the credit that is due. So, no, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we will be celebrating a 12 victory / makes it to the end of the race.
Yes, that would be a nice change of pace.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Go Martinsville.
Peace.